Hey everyone, Paul from Grindhouse Funhouse. How's it going? On this cold, wintry day here in Montreal, on this Saturday afternoon, said to myself, want to do my collection update, my latest one from last month, January, a full month of purchasing. Lots of vinyls, of course, obviously. I went to San Diego just before I went back to school for 4 days. Visited a lot of record stores, a lot of places, got some good things. And I want to start up with a Black Friday sale I shouldn't have gotten in December, but I got a few weeks ago. It took me 6 weeks to get those. Very happy I did, because I was afraid they would be lost. But let's start with that, shall we? It is from the MVD Rewind collection. Usually these are very expensive, especially for me here in Canada. They go for at least $30 and up. And for some awesome reason, the owner or the runner of the label decided to really cut down on the price. And all of these came to about 13 bucks each. And I just couldn't believe it. It was just, I got lucky. I hope he does this next year as well, because I have a few more titles from that line I want to get. So first up is Black Eagle, a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It is from, I believe, 1987. It is with Sho Kosugi from the Enter the Ninja series from Canon Films. It is one of the JCVD films I have yet to see, so I cannot wait to feast my eyes upon it. What I like about this series of titles is they put like old school stickers. I'm sure you've seen this in other videos where, you know, Be Kind Rewind, action, like the action adventure stickers, the special collector's edition. All things to remind you of VHS days gone by. It's a nice little homage, and I really dig it. So yeah, Black Eagle, this is number 3 in the series. After that, I went to Coney Island on a mission from God, be back at 5. This is a total blind buy. This is with John Cryer. That's pretty much the biggest name, and Irony Sky from Say Anything, and Frank Wiley, of course. I love Frank Wiley. Yeah, man, I actually have the trailer on my channel. I'm the only one who has it. I'd seen, like, I did a playlist for all the MVD Rewind collection titles, and this was missing. So if you want to see the trailer, just check out my playlist on my channel and you'll see the trailer. But yeah, this looks very interesting. Up next, another Van Damme title, and it is Lionheart from Universal Pictures. This one came out in 1990, and this is another one where he plays a soldier, some sort of gladiator. Oh wait, from the French Foreign Legion. That is the one. Again, I know of this movie, never seen it. I've seen many Van Damme movies, but there's a few like this one where I have not. And now I can, in a beautiful collector's edition, stacked up with special features. So this one here, another blind buy. This time it's Angel Town. It is a cross between Color, Streets of Fire, and Bloodsport. That's what Video Business tells me on the back. It is yeah, it is a martial arts movie. It looks pretty cool. Wanted to check it out, and I know that Olivier Grenet is a French martial art expert, I guess, from back then, and he did a few movies, Angel Town being one of them. And that was it from the NVD Rewind collection. 4 titles, not too bad. I want Attack from Killer Tomatoes, which was the number 1. Sadly, it was not in the sale, but I will get it. Other blind buys, this one is Blast, with it is an Albert Pion film, and if you don't know Albert, he's done so many cheesy action movies from the 80s and early 90s. This man's filmography is racked up with classic cheesy titles. This one stars Lyndon Ashby, Andrew Divoff, and Rutger Hauer is in this as well. Yeah, another blind buy. It looks pretty cool. Loves me some action movies from the 90s. Up next is Crazy Six, another Albert Pyun title. This one stars Rob Lowe, Mara Van Peebles, Ice-T, Burt Reynolds, and yeah, this looks also good, especially for Ice-T. Big fan of Ice-T. Trespass, one of my favorite movies from Walter Hill. So always up for some Ice-T. Up next is The Invitation. It is one of the last, if not the last movie Draft House films released. Now they're known as Neon. And this is from, who was it again? What is her name? It is why am I? It's literally written out in big words, and I just meant Karen Kusama, who's right now as a movie Destroyer, starring Nicole Kidman, which looks pretty damn good. This one's starring Logan Marshall Green, Tammy Blanchard, Michael Husman. If you haven't seen it, it's like a gang of friends that reunites one night at a friend's house, and there's something off, and Logan Marshall Green noticed something odd, and through his eyes we see what's happening, like what are the odd things going on in this house, and it's pretty chilling. I actually saw this on Netflix before I saw this available from MVD, so I'm very glad I got to buy it, and the fact that it is the last Draft House release. I was a big fan of that label. Sad that they shut it down, but who knows? No, whatever. They go on in other form. And then finally from Umbrella Entertainment in Australia, but released in the States by MVD. It's Attack 4Z, which is Australian movie starring Mel Gibson and Sam Neill from I believe 1982, and directed by Dim Bernstall. It is a movie about an elite military team dispatched during World War II to locate and rescue the survivors of a shot down plane, and I'm sure wackiness ensues. And I'm always down to see early Mel Gibson movies. I've never seen this one, and it looks pretty darn cool. So that's it for the MVD. On to my San Diego loot. So right before going back to school, decided to take a little vacation in a very sunny place, and decided to go to San Diego. I've been to California before, Los Angeles. I've been there twice. Awesome time. San Diego, we decided to go on the lark. Didn't know what to expect. Obviously, we checked things beforehand, but surprisingly, very nice city. I would totally go back again. Of course, anytime I go to a new city, I always make a list of record stores to hit up, or swap meets, flea markets, what have you. And I had a pretty good list. There's a fellow YouTuber, Sydney Stalkers, that is from San Diego. Looked back at his old videos and got a good list of like record stores to hit up. One of my favorites, just from the video, and I could confirm that it was my favorite on the trip, and is Reanimated Records in La Mesa. Nice little town. I mean, the section I got to see, because I just stayed like a couple hours there, but that store, as you can see right now, it is really amazing. This is the kind of store I would run if I had one here, like VHS, t-shirts, Blu-rays, DVDs, magazines, toys, you name it, they had it. And a really nice staff as well. I didn't film too much. I didn't want to be like, hey, look, I'm the guy that I need to like get used to just filming my surroundings as I do things. It's just something I'm gonna work on, but you got a good idea of what the place is about. But For the stuff I bought, I got only a few things. I wanted to get VHS as well because they had a nice row of VHSs, but sadly no titles I wanted. But I did find picks on my list, no less, that I wanted to get while in San Diego. First one being Mandy with Nicolas Cage. I don't think I have to talk about it too much. Everyone knows about Mandy. Saw it at Fantasia last summer. It's pretty damn good. Although I want to rewatch it because I felt like the first half took its sweet time, and some of those times were a bit, I won't say boring, just, it was dragging, but I just want to rewatch it by myself, just see if I dig it again, and I know I will because it's Mandy. It's pretty damn good. Up next, Tales from the Hood 2. That's the sequel to Tales from the Hood. This is also a movie I was supposed to see at Fantasia, but sadly I had other plans. You see, Tales from the Hood. It is the same thing as the first one, an anthology with separate stories. This time around, it's Keith David being the master of ceremony. Clarence Williams III, not in this, sadly. I thought he retired from acting, that's why he didn't show up, but he just was in another movie. What's his face? Rusty Cundiff directed, that just came out. I can't remember the title, but he was in there, so I don't know why he didn't come back for this. But I'm sure Keith David does a wonderful job. I've yet to see it. I need to get on that. Up next, Maggie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Little Miss Sunshine, Abigail Breslin. I think this one was where Arnold decided to pull a JCVD and go all deep and dark and dramatic. I've heard good things. That's one of the post-Governor Arnold movies I've yet to see. So that's why it was a good price. So I said, well, why not? I'm going to check it out, see how good it is. And the only DVD I got, and it was for like $1, and, why not? 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag with Joe Pesci. With Joe, it's hit or miss with comedies, and I just love to watch him in anything he does, even if the movie is really terrible. I'm sure it's not that good, but you got Christy Swanson in there, David Spade. It's one of those late... 1997. So, 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. I also got 2 Fangos, issue number 300, and an issue with 30 Days of Night on the cover. So I got those 2, so that makes, I think I'm up to like 85 issues, which is pretty amazing. And I got 1 soundtrack. It is Wild in the Streets, one of those like 8 late 60s anti-establishment movies. This one is about, I think only up to 25 you could be in society or work, or you could become, does he become president or something? In any event, it's all about kids and rebelling, and I'm old enough to fight, I'm old enough to vote, that kind of thing. 52% of the population is under 25, so it's one of those movies. So glad I got this one. And then that was it for Reanimated Records. Up next, I went to Book Off. Usually I go when I'm in New York City. That's my go-to. Anytime I'm in New York City, I have to go to Book Off. They always have a huge selection of movies. It's pretty cool that there's one in San Diego, and right in front of it there was an In-N-Out. So you best believe that right after I went to Book Off, I went to In-N-Out and got the double. That was pretty tasty. But I got a couple titles up here. First one being Spring Breakers. This is my shit. Look at my shit with James Franco. I believe his best performance. Let's be real here. It's from A24 back in 2013. Directed by Harmony Korine. Very stylized, very in your face. There's also Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens. Gucci Mane's in this. I really want to rewatch this. I saw it in theaters back in 2012, 2013. And funny enough, Harmony Korine is coming out with a new movie next month, The Beach Bum, starring McConaughey. And that's the most McConaughey movie, just for the trailer alone. This movie is gonna rock because it's the most McConaughey role for him. Like it felt like it's tailor made for the McCon. So that's, can't wait to go check that out. Up next, I got a DVD, Chasers, which is very underseen and underappreciated. I feel it's a Dennis Hopper directed movie. Came out in '93 with Tom Berenger, Erika Eleniak, William McNamara, Gary Busey's in this. It's about like a prisoner, Erika Eleniak, who's being transferred from one prison to the next, from one army base to another, and again, wackiness ensues. And I actually saw this. I remember seeing this in theaters back in 1993 and really loved it. So with these eyes, will 26 years later we'll have the same feelings for this movie? We shall see. Up next, it is a psychic thriller, Don't Look Now, starring Julie Christine, Donald Sutherland. I know there's a Criterion release of this, but hell, I paid $2 for this. I'm gonna snatch it up. I've never seen it. It's came out in 1973. It was directed by Nicholas Roeg, who sadly passed away recently. This movie is about ESP and crazy visions and whatnots. I really want to see it. I will. I got it. That's what I'll do. And finally, from Book Off, I got Monument Avenue, which is a Ted Demme film starring Jason Barry, Billy Crudup, Greg Dully's in this. Oh, that's pretty cool. And Dennis Leary, Cole Meany, Famke Janssen, and Martin Sheen. One of those, tough neighborhood movies, Code of Silence and whatnot. That looks pretty good. Another movie I feel like it's been forgotten by time and people. So that's it for Book Off. Up next, where did I went to? I went to Kobe's Swap Meet, which is pretty much a flea market, an outdoor flea market. That's the only day in San Diego where it rained. So when we went there around 11 in the morning, as you could see, it was pretty empty. And it sucks because I'd seen videos before that place and it looked like really packed when they had all those vendors around. And I would love to have seen a lot of people there, but sadly not that many people. I managed to buy a few things. I got lucky, I guess. But yeah, I ended up finding a few things. Funny enough, all Christmas movies. First week of January, what I find, Christmas movies. First up, A Christmas Carol, or Scrooge as it's known. It is the classic with Patrick Macnee. I believe it's from 1951. Yes, 1951. So yeah, A Christmas Carol, aka Scrooge. Up next, A Christmas Story. Why didn't I have this in my collection? I do not know, but now I do. Look at this. And then another classic, White Christmas. While he was beating his kids with door handles or oranges and bags, Bing Crosby was doing like really cool classic movies like White Christmas. Why I did say that, I don't know. But and then finally I found, man, I'm losing words. The Towering Inferno. It's I think it's not so much a press book as it is like what do they call it? A souvenir book. I guess they were buying this back in the 70s. They were doing this back in the 70s. See, there's a list of books you could buy back then, and it's pretty much explaining the plot of the movies, pictures, interviews with the cast. Let's see right here, pictures. The story, all that good stuff. And I thought it was looked really, really cool. Look at this artwork. Oh my God, look at this right now. It's amazing. They don't make like shit like this anymore, but really beautiful. So that is it for Kobe's Market Swap Meet. That's what it is. Up next, I went to Best Buy, and at Best Buy, what did I get at Best Buy? I got this at Best Buy, right here. Our Best Buy here barely have any movies anymore. And when I went there and saw rows and rows of it, I said, yes, I will buy here. And I got really good deals. First up, Upgrade, my favorite movie of last year. Again, another movie with Logan Marshall Green and directed by Lee Whannell. You might know him from the Saw series. And it was just announced from Blumhouse that Blumhouse that he's going to direct The Invisible Man for Universal. So I guess they're continuing that series of like monster movies. The last good Invisible Man movie was, at least for me, Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase from John Carpenter. What can I say about this movie? Just fucking awesome. You know, it's in a not so distant future. Logan Marshall Green almost dies in the movie, but gets robotized, I guess. He gets like, you know, appendages, and he just doesn't know how to deal with that, what he's having. And it's some of those scenes are really hilarious. Those action scenes are crazy good. The look of it, the music, the acting, everything is so on point. Like just the tone of the movie is really on point. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would urge you to seek it out. It's that good. And another purchase I made was is the Eightful Eight, the 8th Quentin Tarantino movie. Came out in 2015. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet slipcover right here. I actually saw the Roadshow version of the movie when it came out in late 2015. It was the 70mm showing with the intermissions, and you also got like a program, which we did not get at the movie we saw at the theater we saw. But you know, I'm a completist. I have every Quentin Tarantino movies as of now, and I really liked it, but it hasn't sticked up that much in my memory, in my mind. So I definitely want to rewatch it. And I'm very excited for the new Quentin movie coming out in July, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Looks, from what I've seen so far, looks pretty damn good. It's from this, it's set up in the late 60s, early 70s. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt playing stuntmen. There's something about the Manson murders around that. Like, I can't wait to see the trailer. Like, I can't wait to see like what it's about. But yeah, the Eightful Eight, got it for a really good price, like $5. Pretty sweet. Up next, I went to Walmart, of all places. Why not? You know, I see a lot of videos where they go purchases at Walmart, like the latest releases of that week. They go see what's new and what am I rambling about? I went to Walmart and tried to find a movie, and I did. I got E.T. the Extraterrestrial, the 35th anniversary limited edition, with this really sick lenticular cover. I don't know if you could see the bike in the moon. I mean, this is the first movie I've ever saw in my life, back in 1982. If you ask anybody in my age range, what is the first movie you ever saw? E.T. for sure will come up. This is a pretty cool edition with not only the lenticular and the slipcover like this. You got 4K Ultra HD. I don't know if it's true 4K. I think it is. And it is my first 4K in my collection. I'm not that big on that. Like, I'm not gonna buy a 4K TV. I feel like Blu-ray is pretty close to like what's good out there. So, but I'm glad I still got it. Got a nice little booklet, with interviews, pictures, stuff like this. And cool thing, although I believe I have it on vinyl, but the soundtrack on CD. So yeah, that ET version is pretty damn cool. And then where else have I gone? I went to Cow Records, which is a nice little record store in Ocean Beach. As you can see, like a really cool layout, you know, a pretty tight selection of vinyls. I looked through the soundtrack section, and I found two soundtracks. First off being The Year of Living Dangerously, another Mel Gibson movie starring Sigourney Weaver. Linda Hunt is in there. Music by Maurice Jarre and directed by Peter Weir. It is my second Varese Sarabande title in my collection, so I'm pretty psyched about this. Never seen the movie. I listened to a few of the soundtrack, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty good, so worth checking out. And another soundtrack, The Natural, a Robert Redford movie directed by Barry Levinson. This is actually one of my favorite soundtracks, only because if you've ever watched The Wonder Years, and I hope you have, it is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. The very last episode of the series, the last scene you see when they're at the parade and they're telling what's happening, like in the future, what the cast's been or will happen to them in the future. A cut from this soundtrack, that's what you hear. So it has a special place in my heart for that very reason. So yeah, and it's composed by Randy Newman, and it's a pretty good soundtrack. So that's it for my San Diego trip. You know, it was pretty cool. Like I said, I got to visit Balboa Park, Corona Beach, and that amazing hotel, La Jolla Cove with the sea lions, and you know, went to Mission Beach. It was nice just to be in a warm setting, you know, being next to the sea, being next to on the beach, you know, that warm salty air, all that good stuff. And I'll be right back with some more vinyls. One thing I forgot, I went to Target as well, and what I found was Stranger Things Season 2 on Blu-ray with that giant clamshell as the artwork or the casing for the Blu-rays. Yeah, man, the first one I bought was like $35 back in the day when we didn't know it wasn't that limited, and at some point I remember on Black Friday of that year they came out, they actually sold those at like $8. So I was like, fuck that. But this one, since we don't have these here, we don't have Target here in Canada, and ordering online would have cost me at least $40. I got this for $17 on sale while there, so that's pretty sweet. Right here, like, has the casing like a VHS inside, and has the Blu-rays, and there's cards and everything. So it is a pretty sweet release. Can't wait to see season 3 coming out in July. Should be hopefully as good as season 1. Season 2 was good, was okay. I guess the shine was off because we all got excited with season 1. But I still enjoyed it, but I need to rewatch for sure. Before I'll watch both seasons right before season 3 starts up again. Now I'll watch it on Blu-ray. All right, so last thing, a lot of soundtracks, vinyls. You know how much I collect these things, and lately I've found really good stuff and pretty happy with my scores. One of my favorite stores here in Montreal is Au 33 Tours. They have a pretty good selection. This first batch here is stuff I bought during the month, every other day, where I would go to the store, see them in the used section. I would buy them. First stop is Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield. Just for Dead Man's Party alone from Ongo Bongo, aka Danny Elfman's band. So I got this, Back to School. Up next, Gremlins, Joe Dante, classic. Dick Miller, Zach Galligan, Phoebe Cates, of course. Dick Miller, who died this week, sadly. A long, fruitful career, 90 years old. He actually just celebrated his birthday like a couple weeks ago and then dead. But man, that man's got an amazing career and amazing life. So, you know, he went on top. But Gremlins, it's half songs. First half is songs, second half is the Jerry Goldsmith score. Pretty good, pretty cool that I got this. Very happy with this. Up next, Psycho 3, Anthony Perkins, directed by Anthony Perkins. I've not seen it. I've seen the original Psycho. I need to see 2 and 3. Yeah, look at this. It's pretty cool. I love the cover. Looks really creepy. Up next, I got Soul Man, 80s comedy. You got C. Thomas Howell playing in blackface for a reason, but this kind of stuff would not pass in 2019. Even back then, I don't think it did, but it's funny enough, it is co-produced by Carol Black and Neil Marlin, written by Carol Black and Neil Marlin being the creators of The Wonder Years, as I spoke earlier. But yeah, I wanted to get this. Why not? Various artistes, as you know. I like this. I like those. Up next, St. Elmo's Fire, Joel Schumacher, The Brat Pack, Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Danny Moore, John Nelson, Ali Sheedy, all these people. St. Elmo's Fire. Up next, Eddie and the Cruisers, probably the only movie Michael Paré is known for, and Tom Berge is in there too. But yeah, got this, Eddie and the Cruisers. And the last batch of vinyls is a sale that happened last Saturday. It was they do this every 6 months or so. They have like dollar sales of vinyls, and I always go, obviously, because I am a vinyl nut. I found quite a few good ones too for $1. I'm very happy about this. First up, The Big Easy, starring Dennis Quaid and Ellen Barkin. I believe it is from 1987. That is correct. With directed by Jim McBride. Jim McBride also did The Great Balls of Fire, where Dennis Quaid was playing, you know, why am I forgetting the name? That rocker. My God, I'm blanking right now. But yeah, The Big Easy. That's one. Also got Who's That Girl? Madonna. A couple of Madonna tracks on this thing. Yeah, why not having this? You know, it's $1. Up next, The Arrangement, a movie I've never heard of. It's from 1969. It is written and directed by Elia Kazan, starring Kirk Douglas, Faye Dunaway, Deborah Kerr, Hume Cronin, and composed by David Amram. No clue that is, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good. Up next, Amadeus Mozart. I believe the movie won the Academy Award back in 1985. So yeah, 8 Academy Awards actually. Oh, okay. Amadeus. Up next, Against All Odds, a Jeff Bridges movie starring Rachel Ward, James Wood. Again, another various artistes, many 80s song on there. Up next, Cry Freedom, which is which Denzel Washington's in, one of his earlier movies. Richard Attenborough, Kevin Kline, directed by Richard Attenborough. So yeah, right here. Up next, what kind of collection would I have of vinyls of movie soundtracks if I didn't have, boom, Footloose. Of course, you must have Footloose, and now I have Footloose. Up next, oh, something really surprising, a really good find. Cruising, the I believe 1981, no, 1979, no, 1980 film starring Al Pacino, directed by William Friedkin, Paul Sorvino, Karen Allen. It's about the early 80s gay club scene. And yeah, Cruising right here. Up next, Clockwork Orange, Walter Carlos' complete original score from the Stanley Kubrick classic. Yeah, looks like a nice piece of collection there. Up next, Phantom of the Paradise, Brian De Palma film, musical, you know, Phantom of the Paradise. Up next, Mahogany, Diana Ross, produced by Berry Gordy and directed by Berry Gordy, the runner of Motown Records. So he put his biggest star in this movie, Mahogany. And then finally, no, I got 2 more. My God, I have so much stuff. And then up next, Summer Job. I'm guessing an 80s theme movie, just from that cover alone, 1988. Couple more 80s song on this thing. And then finally from the vinyls, The Wild Angels Volume 2, a biker movie from I believe 1960 67, 68. And love that cover. How cool is this cover, right? So yeah, can't wait to listen to this. And the very last thing I will show you, because you know this thing's been going on for far too long. This is the second edition of a Fangoria. This is volume 2, number 2. I showed you the first one in the last video. This time around, you got coverage on the new Rabbit movie from the Siska sisters, which looks pretty good. You know, an update on the David Cronenberg classic. You got Joe Bob. Joe Bob is back. He is risen. You know, him of you know, doing those drive-in movies. Does he's quite well known in this universe we all live in. A lot of things on makeup. There's a Tom Savini article. What else? What else is there? There's many things. The Prodigies, Killer Kid. There's oh yeah, there's a great article on John Carpenter's Firestarter. He was supposed to do it. There was a nice screenplay. They talk about it in length, but sadly he cannot go through with it. I think he did was the Darkness movie instead. Though, so yeah, all that good stuff right here in the Fangoria. Pretty happy to have it. So that is it for this very long update. I had a lot of stuff. My God, a lot of stuff to listen to and watch. If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram feed at Grindhouse Funhouse, where I post on the daily. This is my main thing. I'm also on Twitter, and I'm also on Facebook. Links all down below. If you want to share with me in the comment section what were your purchases in January, maybe share with me what title should I get from what you've just seen. Maybe you could recommend me some stuff. I'm always open to discover new things. You know, thank you for watching. More videos to come. Always more videos to come. I have many ideas. I'm gonna do them all soon enough, hopefully. Thank you for watching, and you'll see me again very soon.